The S&P 500 initially fell almost 35% in response to COVID-19 spread across the world and to the US. However, the index has since rallied strongly off the late March low, gaining over 30% to be just 13% below its prior peak. While these gains are consistent with the desire of state and federal government authorities to quickly reopen the US economy, as well as the immense and open-ended support of the US Federal Reserve, they are at odds with the economic shock now being reported, as well as the highly uncertain path for the economy once this virus is brought under control. In our discussions to date on the US economy, we have focused on initial jobless claims. By mid-April, some 26 million US workers had lost their jobs and filed for unemployment benefits. This loss of jobs will result in the unemployment rate rising from 4.4% in March to around 15% in April. Further job losses are expected, and so the peak unemployment rate for this cycle is likely to be nearer 20%. Thereafter, it will take a long time for the unemployment rate to track down back towards the GFC peak of 10%, let alone the 3 to 5% range the economy has become accustomed to over the last few years. It is not surprising then that activity collapsed midway through the March quarter as the lockdown hit the US economy. As a result, in annualised terms, GDP fell almost 5% for the quarter as a whole. Underlying this headline result, services consumption was down 10% in the 3 months to March, and demand for durable goods such as cars and household goods fell around 16% in annualised terms. While these outcomes are severe, they are merely the start. The June quarter will be materially weaker again, likely seeing an annualised GDP decline in the order of 25%, 5 times the scale seen in the 3 months to March. Again, this weakness will be concentrated in consumption, but will also be apparent in housing construction and business investment. If the US economy is opened up as authorities intend, then it will bounce back in the second half of 2020, offsetting some of the loss to June. It is important to highlight, however, that this will not be a broad-based recovery. Pent-up demand amongst still employed consumers will come to the fore, but those who have lost their jobs will remain income constrained, particularly as unemployment benefits expire. Businesses, meanwhile, are likely to sit on their hands for an extended period, waiting to assess the full shock to their financial position, as well as the state of demand for their output before committing to new capacity. This view is also applicable to hiring, highlighting why the US labour market will take a long time to heal, and consequently why the economy will recover slowly from this crisis. Following a decline of around 8% over the year to December 2020, Westpac only sees a 5% gain through 2021 in the US, leaving their economy materially worse off in 2022 than at the end of 2019. Even to our cautious view, there are still downside risks. Chief among them is that the spread of the virus is not contained in the US as authorities hope. There are now over 1 million cases of COVID-19 in the US, around a third of known global cases. While the crisis in epicenters such as New York City is subsiding, the spread across the nation is becoming pervasive. This means that, against current market expectations, it will be very difficult to sustainably and smoothly reopen the US economy. We'll see you next week.